Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek and welcome back to my channel. So today you ask any industry expert, they will tell you you should learn AI and people who learn AI will replace the people who don't. The same is common in the world of DevOps as well. But they don't tell you the most important thing. What exactly do you have to learn? What is the roadmap that you have to follow to upskill yourself in the world of AI? Where do you start from? What is the order of the tools to learn? That is exactly what I'm going to cover in today's video. So if you are a DevOps engineer, you can follow this roadmap and you can become an AI DevOps engineer. Typically, a DevOps engineer who knows how to use AI. This is going to be a very simple roadmap. This is just a 10-step roadmap and complete beginner friendly. All that you have to do is to watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So the first step of the roadmap, start with prompt engineering. Now, this is common for everyone, whether you are into DevOps or you are into a different stream. Always start with prompt engineering when you are stepping into AI. There are two important reasons for it. Prompt engineering can help you get expected response from AI. You might have seen a lot of people work with AI, but only few people get expected response from AI. And other people don't find it very useful. Why? Because people who know how to prompt with AI, they get the exact code or the exact script that they're looking for. In fact, there are a lot of techniques here. For example, few shot prompting or n shot prompting. You also need to know in which use case you have to go with a specific prompting technique. And the second reason why you have to learn prompt engineering, this will make you cost efficient in the world of AI. So let's say today you're using Claude model, or maybe you're using Codex of Anthropic. If you know prompt engineering, you can get the expected response at least two times cost efficient. Because if you generally look at the response from the AI, it's too chatty. Just as ChatGPT something, it gives you a lot of information. But what you need to know is to only get the response that you're looking for. That way, the number of tokens are reduced and the cost with AI is also reduced. Just for one or two things, let's say you're asking one or two questions to AI, you might not find it cost efficient, but over the period of time, as you keep using AI within your enterprise, as hundreds of engineers start using AI with your enterprise for, let's say, 365 days, you will see huge billion difference in the world of AI. So that's why prompt engineering is very, very important. This is the first step that you have to learn. Then the second thing that you'll have to focus, especially as DevOps engineers, is to learn how to run the local models. But Abhishek, why is this important? Today we are all using Claude, we are using Codex. So what is the point of learning local models? Going ahead, this is going to play a very critical role. Just like how DevOps engineers today run applications on cloud, how DevOps engineers manage the life cycle of applications on on-premises environment. Going ahead, they are going to do the same thing for local models. Try to understand this carefully. Today, definitely Claude is accessible. It's not super costly. Same as with the GPT models of Anthropic. But going ahead, they are going to become expensive. And going ahead, organizations might also find security concerns looking at how AI is shaping out, especially the AI builders, the security attacks on them. So, only solution is the local models. And fortunately, today, the local models like the GPT model or the models that are focused on the coding, like the Qwen 3 coder model, even the Llama model, they are becoming super efficient. So, this is going to be one of the responsibilities. DevOps engineers, or whatever you call them, LLM ops engineers, DevOps engineers, they will be responsible for running the local models on the cloud platform, on Kubernetes clusters, so that these models become proprietary for the organization. Developers working within the organization, they don't make API calls to the cloud model, but they will be making API calls to the local models. This is going to happen in the future. So at this point of time, this is futuristic, but at this point of time, you should at least get familiarized with the local models. How do you run them on your personal compute? Learn these tools today. Olama, Docker Model Runner, and llama.cpp. So these are the three tools that can help you run models locally on your compute. Even they can help you run it on your VPS or virtual machines, even Kubernetes. Perfect. So this is the second thing that you have to learn, running the models locally. Then the third step of the roadmap, focus on the model ecosystem. What exactly is model ecosystem? Just correlate it with the traditional software application ecosystem. I'm talking about the application registry. I'm talking about building the application, deploying the application, pushing the source code of the application. You have to learn the model ecosystem in the same way. For example, just like how you have the application registry, in the world of AI, you have Hugging Face. So you can store your models within Hugging Face. Even the public models are stored in Hugging Face. Using the Hugging Face CLI, you can download the models. So you should start learning the model ecosystem, how to build the models, how to store the models, and how to deploy the models, which I also explained here. But these are the local models, the public models. I'm talking about the custom models in this case. Then the fourth step, start learning using the agents. I'm sure most of you must have already tried using the agents. For example, GitHub Copilot. Still, some people are hesitant in using the models like GitHub Copilot or Claude or Codex, Juni. So these are some models which everyone is using. Even you have to start using it. There are n number of ways how you can get free access to these models. For example, you can get GitHub Copilot free license. Even the SIM providers are offering today access to the free models. So go ahead, start playing with it. Don't be hesitant, because if you fall behind, then it is very difficult to pick up. Already a lot of people are using agents, they are building some applications, they are building platforms for DevOps instances. Why don't you go ahead and try it? It's very easy. Just like writing a prompt, getting the expected response. If you don't get it, keep doing it. So start playing with the agents today. Then the fifth thing, once you learn the agents, the most important part is MCP. What is MCP? Model Context Protocol. I made detailed video on this as well. But just to explain here, I'll give you a simple example. Imagine you are using AI. Okay, you are using one of these agents and you are working on a Kubernetes activity, creating a Kubernetes cluster and deploying application to the Kubernetes cluster. By default, what AI agent does, either it use the memory that it already has, or it scrapes the information on the internet and it learns how to create a Kubernetes cluster and deploy the application to the Kubernetes cluster. There is one problem in this approach. AI might also find some random blogs on the internet. And these blogs, it's quite possible they have outdated information or they have vulnerable packages. Maybe they have old version of the packages, old version of the API reference of Kubernetes. How do you overcome this challenge? This is where MCP plays a critical role. So MCP allows AI agents to securely interact with the external platforms. In this case, it can be Kubernetes documentation. Because your task is to create a cluster and deploy application to Kubernetes, you can equip your AI with official Kubernetes MCP server. That way, AI will not look at the random blocks. It will look at the official Kubernetes documentation. It will see the steps to install and deploy the application. This way, your task is also secure and you can also achieve the expected output. So MCP is very, very important. And today, fortunately, there are a lot of MCP servers. AWS has MCP server, Kubernetes has MCP server, Azure has MCP server. Every tool, literally, including the databases, also have their MCP servers. So learn MCP. We have a detailed video along with the demonstration as well. Then the next thing that you have to learn. Okay, you learned about agents, you learned about MCP. Let me ask you one simple thing. How do you control the AI agent? Let's say within your organization, there are some compliance requirements. Now, there are certain things you don't want your AI agent to do because it is going against the standard of your organization. Maybe you don't want AI to use a particular API, to use a particular library, to use a particular package. How do you do that? You can define that in skills.md. Now, this is specific to Anthropic at times, but because this is a very powerful model today, a lot of people who are working on scripting, a lot of people who are working on coding today, they use the Claude model, the Anthropic Claude model, and there is something called skills.md using which you control the model usage. You can tell the model not to do certain things and you can recommend the model to perform certain activities. That is using skills.md. But overall, every model has its own way. What you need to learn is how to control the usage of the model. Then the next thing, once you also learn this, then focus on agent orchestration platforms. This is very, very important. And I would highly recommend my followers to learn this. Agent orchestration platforms like N8N or sim.io. These are two popular agent orchestration platforms. What happens with these platforms? Just like how you do CI/CD today, CI/CD is for applications. The same way, if you want to orchestrate multiple agents, maybe you want to build a pipeline where one agent performs an activity, second agent performs another activity, third agent performs another activity, but they are all orchestrated or they are all doing these activities in a collaborated way. Then you need to learn N8N or sim.io. Best example, you are building a DevSecOps platform where every time someone commits a commit to GitHub, the source code has to be checked out. The difference has to be figured out. What is the code that is changed? And one of the AI agent performs analysis. Other AI agent looks at the security vulnerabilities in the code. Other AI agent takes responsibility of fixing it. And finally, the last AI agent takes responsibility of sending an email, right? Or drafting the email according to the issue that is figured out, providing the summary within the email, and sending the email to the right people. How do you achieve this? You need to have one, two, three, four different agents. So this is where platforms like N8N or sim.io can really help you. I already built something like this on our YouTube channel using sim.io. I made a detailed video as well. If you want, you can take a look at it. But definitely learn agent orchestration platforms. That is the seventh step in the roadmap. And then learn RAG. Why do you need to learn RAG? Let me also explain this with an example. You know, everything that I'm talking about is according to the analysis. Personally, I have learned things in the same way. That is why I'm recommending you. And if you learn the things in the same order, you will also not find difficulty. Why you need to learn RAG and vector databases? Simple. So today, okay, you can use AI agents to perform any activity. But what if? you want to use AI agent along with your internal documentation, right? So let's say you have Confluence or you have Jira within your organization, and there is a lot of information in Confluence and Jira. You want your AI agent to go through your Confluence, to go through Jira. Today, is it possible with Claude? Not really, because Claude is a public model. It is not trained on your organizational internal data. So what you can do, you can use RAG along with the vector database, and you can use your AI agent. It is trained on the internal information and it can perform activities for you. It doesn't have to be Claude. It can be your local model as well. So that's why you have to learn RAG as well as the vector databases. I'll make a detailed video on this. Right now, we don't have this on our channel, but definitely a lot of you have asked for retrieval augmented generation and vector databases. I'll definitely make a video on it. In fact, for vector database, we have a video using retool, but not for retrieval augmented generation. So this is going to be our step 8. Then step 9, once you're done with all of these things, focus on the observability, because this is one space a lot of thing is happening in the world of AI. There are two ways that you can focus here. One, AI SRE. There are a lot of tools in the space of AI SRE, which is nothing but using AI in the world of observability. Not for traditional activities, but let's say there is an incident. You want AI to summarize the incident. You want AI to prepare root cause analysis document. And you want AI to send this root cause analysis document. And in future, how you can avoid this. So you can use AI SRE platforms like Rootly or Resolve AI. Other interesting option is AI Ops. What is AI Ops? Again, this is on observability, but this is not generative AI. This is traditional AI, typically machine learning models. What happens with AI Ops? Let's say you have configured metrics in Prometheus and you have configured some alerts in Prometheus. But as a human, you can only configure X number of alerts. But there are a lot of hidden patterns in the metrics. Maybe there is a CPU spike from 20% to 70% drastically. Or your usual users that hit the platform, let's say is 1,000, but there are 3,000 user hits on your platform at 3 a.m. in the morning. You might not get an alert because you haven't configured it. But what AOps solution can do, it can identify this as an anomaly and it can send notification to you. So this is where AOps platforms are also shining. Finally, once you learn all of these things, focus on AI in the world of security and guardrails. There are no specific platforms to this. This is generally AI with security approach, just like how traditionally DevOps engineers focus on security, which has also become very popular. Some people call it DevSecOps. The same way, if your organization is using AI as DevOps engineer, you can take the responsibility. You can identify the security loopholes and start adding security controls and guardrails within your organization. You might feel, but Abhishek, it's not my responsibility. Just go back 10 years ago. DevOps engineers were also not responsible for DevSecOps. But today, it has become a major role in the DevOps world. Some companies are hiring DevSecOps engineers. They're also paying more for the DevSecOps engineers. Same, today, if you're focusing on DevOps, learn AI and also learn how to include security best practices in the world of AI. Teach your organization, teach people in your organization. So this is the 10-step roadmap that I was talking about. Once again, just follow everything in the same order. This will hardly take 15 to 20 days for you. And if you're a DevOps engineer, you can transition into AI DevOps engineer. Now there is no role called AI DevOps engineer, but you can be the early AI adopters. You can be one of the first DevOps engineers to learn AI. I hope you found this video insightful. If you still have any questions, do let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. See you all in the next one.